Hey, hello everyone. I'm here with me, Larry from Larry Gadea from founder Envoy.com. And it's a pleasure to meet you.
Nice, absolutely. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Yep, and this is a Web Summit event, so let's just kick start on the discussions here. So the theme of this topic is regarding of how we think in the workplace, some aspects of leadership, and maybe some thoughts, funny things about yourself. So let's just get audience to know you a little bit better. Yeah. Maybe you can tell something a little bit about yourself and anything interesting that nobody has seen you online so far.
I mean, that's a pretty tough one because I do answer a lot of things, but I don't know. I would just say I enjoy flying around. I enjoy like going to new places, and especially now with work, it's really nice because there's always going to be some customer somewhere that like needs help figuring something out. So then I can be like, hey, why don't I fly to this country to help with that?
Okay.
So that can always be fun. So always good when now we have thousands of these customers, so it's easy to go anywhere, but we do have to find good business reasons here and there.
Right. So how does that part of Envoy.com being formed about? Maybe would you like to tell the audience a little bit what Envoy does?
Yeah, so Envoy basically is a product where people are going inside of workplaces, and when they do, they gotta know, hey, what am I, like, where do I go? And do I have to, like, do any kind of sign-in process? Do I have a desk? Do I have a meeting room? Do I have is my team coming in today? So we help with all the scheduling and all when people want to get together, we make it easy for people to do that.
Right. Oh, that's incredibly awesome. It's like, there's a lot of things that happens during pandemic.
Yeah.
And right now it's posting. So what the stand is still remains the same, like getting people to work safely everywhere.
Yeah.
And is there like a significant changes in the way how organization is being run?
Yeah, I mean, so we used to be a product that was really just mostly focused on, hey, people are going to workplaces, and it's usually visitors back in the day. But these days now, it's a little bit more about like, hey, it's visitors, it's employees, it's all sorts of different types of contractors. These people, like, they need to keep track that these people are going into the office and that it's happening on these days. Do we have enough desks? Do we have enough meeting rooms?
Okay.
So our product process has changed a lot into one where it's really around like, how do we build for the employee experience as opposed to just the visitor experience, which is what we used to have.
Okay.
So now we have a whole visitor line of things, we have a whole employee line of things, and it's really unifying all under this concept that like the workplace can really be a lot better.
Right.
And for visitors, employees, contractors, it doesn't matter who, as long as they're inside of the workplace.
So would that be like something that what Zoom is doing? Because Zoom is taking the lead in increasing engagement online during pandemic.
Yes,
and it grows a lot. Yeah.
So Zoom is definitely it grew a lot, but it's Zoom was a lot like it's more of the virtual. So you basically have a Zoom call, and that can be from anywhere on any kind of topic, any kind of thing. But the thing about a Zoom call is that it's not exactly the most like personable. And usually when people do like kind of these remote calls, they're doing it from one spot at their computer at some place. And that can be a problem because it's not very memorable. Like you don't really like experience something. You don't really have like accidental Zoom calls where like you're learning something new from someone that you overheard.
Okay.
And it's like that's the kind of stuff where the personality and like getting work done on a day-to-day basis, that's where the problems can happen. So it's like obviously we build for workplaces and we really encourage workplaces, but it really is around like, hey, how do we have a blend of all the different working styles? Because some people are fully remote, some people they only fly in every couple of days for a month, and then it's like, all right, well, when they're in, how do we give them a map as to where everyone is? How do we tell them, hey, these people sit here? How do they book a room when they don't even know where the meeting rooms are? So that's the kind of stuff that we're really working on.
Just out of curiosity, like I touched on this point, right? Because actually in the columns as well, there are a lot of digital nomads who doesn't care about working in an office, as an instance, and they work globally all around the place, including like Web Summit, which is now in Lisbon. It's a hub for digital nomads. So you see that Envoy actually fits into this kind of verticals of the audience.
I mean,
in a way.
It's for everyone. Like the way to think about it is like some people want to work in an office all the time. Some people want to work part of the time. Some people want to work none of the time. And it's kind of like making the workplace that you may have effective for all those groups is really important. And it's like you have to be thoughtful about it. If you're not, you don't get the benefits of it, and you're paying for all this real estate that you're not using. But if you are and you see the data around it, and when the digital nomads do go into the company for, I don't know, maybe like a hackathon or some kind of sprint to get some feature out, then they do feel like they've been there all the time, and they know where all the people are, and they can have a great experience.
Oh, right. That's an awesome experience. Like, so I heard
experience. It's all experience. Like what we're trying to do is really make the workplace experience be something super notable.
Okay, is that like something that I also take an interest as well? So you have a company that starts off in like 2013, and originally you took it in the car, goes to Canada to start this when you were young. And this is the objective that I read through from your website. So I think the figures of your funding was like 16 million. And
yeah, I mean, these days it's a lot more than that. That's I mean, we've gone through Series A, B, and C, all through like these venture investors in Silicon Valley. Andreessen Horowitz ran our A, Menlo Ventures ran our B, and then we just did one now with Brookfield Growth. It was $111 million from Brookfield Growth.
Okay.
And that one's now being used for all sorts of different initiatives and stuff.
What do they see actually in the company as well, like to funnel to build the growth? Do they see the common visions?
Well, what they see is a whole bunch of offices inside of buildings that need people inside of them. And the best way that they see, what they see is a future where real estate is helpful to the companies when they return back, and in whatever way they return back, that the experience is there, the amenities are there, and it's easy, it's simple. They want to make the building experience just as easy as like the floor and the company experience.
Okay.
So what we're doing with them is in partnership, we're working on this Envoy Connect product, which is really around how do we link the upstairs with the downstairs. So if, for example, you're inviting a visitor in, like so let's just say it's a contractor, it's somebody, or it's some kind of vendor that's coming in, you're going to register them upstairs. So you have your security and compliance logs, but then the building needs to know too. Traditionally, you would have had to call the downstairs and tell them, hey, I'm having this contractor come in. Yep. They'd be like, what floor are you on again? And they'd have all these problems. We link the two systems together such that when you register somebody upstairs, the downstairs automatically has it. And then when the person shows up, they're expected. They don't have to go through all these like random checks. They can automatically be given a badge to get access to the elevator, to the different systems. So that's kind of how we're getting into the buildings, and that's in partnership with Brookfield. Now, where it gets really exciting is, hey, some of these companies have extra space. And in those offices where there's extra space that's not being used, we see a world where, hey, their meeting rooms that are not being used maybe could be shared with other tenants in the building.
Oh, that's a smart strategy. That's not what we were just at.
Yeah, so
now you raise a lot more money for that.
You need to build inventory, and there's desks, there's rooms, there's parking spots. So we're looking to get companies to actually volunteer some of these things. But of course they would get paid for it, and it's over time. But it's so this is what we're building towards right now, with our first step being the shared visitor management.
Okay, so basically that I recall as some of the stories you were building it because nobody knows each other with the partner office and all.
Yeah, what you have is two different tenants. They've been above or below each other for the last 5 years. They've never even talked with each other. Hey, you know what? Those employees are all trying to go back to, they're trying to get an easy ride to the office. If they carpool together, then they're all going to the same spot. So it's pretty easy for these companies to now see a benefit in others being there.
Right.
And that's the whole point. Like, if two people are going to the same building, you might as well offer them, hey, maybe you do a carpool, maybe there's like maybe there's a lost and found, maybe for sale. You can sell your phone to somebody in the building. So it's kind of like there's this concept of a network being created amongst everyone in the building.
Oh, that's awesome. This is a network that connects people together and using your systems to do it.
Yes, in one physical location.
Wow, that's awesome. The story itself.
It's happening. It's happening step by step.
All right, yeah. So we're just gonna give last two questions. We have a few minutes for this one. So I think I'll pick up one of those key moments of your leadership.
Yeah.
So I read through 12 tips on your leadership stories tonight.
Okay.
Can you pick one of the ones that you're interested and you still think that is still relevant?
I mean,
there's no bad and picture.
I don't remember what the 12 were, but I would just say like.
Okay. I'll show you in front here.
Here we go. I mean, we can pick. Can pick.
So let's just pick from your memory banks. Which ones that you recall?
Oh boy! I mean, they're all good. Oh, these are really good. I was like actually thinking when I wrote this. They're great. I mean, I would just say like I don't even know if it's one of the points, but I would say that resilience is one of the most important things that a founder or CEO or anybody in a company can have. there's always going to be an uphill battle. It is the higher up you go in a company, the more unfair the battle is going to be.
Okay.
And you have to be, the better you are at not pointing away your problems and just like taking it, even though it's totally unfair. That is how you're going to do well, and that's how you're going to continue moving up and like continue being better and more powerful as a leader.
I think that's where like you think that the employees are okay to disagree with you on certain aspects. Is there a line of boundaries that you practice, like, oh, hey, this is not the way how you talk to your CEOs or something like that?
I think it's important that like
Yeah.
merit is the basis of all conversations. So
Right.
if the manager is incorrect about something, or if they're like just factually wrong about something, it's important that you don't just allow it, and especially you don't parrot it. But what it is important is that you do tell them in a way that's respectful, and this is the part that everyone screws up.
Yeah.
You have to respectfully tell them, like, hey, listen, like I looked at the numbers. Have you looked at this? Now, if that manager is like, stop looking at numbers, like, you know I'm right, then you may not want that manager. But like most people will actually be like, oh, you're right. And that changes things. And it's like, that's when you know you're at a great place.
Oh.
A place that values the merit versus just like the hierarchy.
Okay, so that's a very good kind of stories that we have. But
Yeah.
I know it's a bit of short of time, and it's still I want to have a last of captions. What would you think that now you used to be working on Twitter? It's
Yeah.
one of his,
Yeah.
and Elon just took over Twitter like when you were early employees. Now,
Yeah.
would that be remains a concept where the workplace will be changed based on what he is and based on your previous Twitter?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Companies
Yeah.
change over time. There's always different things happening.
Yeah.
I think Elon has great intentions for the company. I think that like there's a lot of things that people wanted to have happened at Twitter that have not over time.
Okay.
I think this is an opportunity for those to happen. This could also be a major problem where like it won't happen because it's just too centralized.
Because he fires the CEO and all that at the first stage.
Yeah, but like we don't know, right? Like maybe that's a good thing, maybe that's a bad thing. I mean, it also doesn't really line up if he owns it to not do that. But like, I would say that he's trying a big reset. Hopefully, it's a good idea. Hopefully, he iterates if it's not.
All right.
But he's got it. He's paid $44 billion. He's got to do it.
That's right, sir. On the last bit here, I just want to say that to our fans in Asia,
Yeah.
what would you like to say to them as like,
I mean, I would say that
you're from San Francisco, by
I'm
the way.
from San Francisco and all of that, but I'm not from San Francisco. I'm from Canada, or I was born in Romania.
Right.
You don't need to be from anywhere. You can be anywhere. You literally just have to, but you have to have the fight. You have to have the resilience and the non-stoppingness. The
Okay.
moment you're giving up, the moment you're pointing at others, the moment you're like finding a reason why it's not fair and therefore you don't want to do it, is the moment you lose. So it's just, there's a lot of like pain in this industry, but it's like, it's worth it, and it's worth it because nobody else, not many others, will keep it going, and that's what makes great companies great. And it's always the fight never gets easier, but it's the same for everyone, every place.
Okay, so that's all from
Appreciate it.
and see you and hopefully enjoy the good Web Summit experience.
Thanks.
Yeah, thank you.